University, known dredge pilot, active necromancer, etc., etc. It's a pretty good hand for a Xerox matchup, but against Dredge, this is woefully inadequate. Even if we preordain into mana sources, I'm gonna make the assumption that Stee is on Dredge. They almost always pilot it. So I think we're just going to mulligan this and look for a more explosive hand. PO is unplayable. Keep. So our sequencing here is I don't think it's going to make a difference how we sequence on our turn, but we're definitely not casting PO into trap negation. We'll go to their upkeep when cast PO. Especially don't want to play into Force of Vigor, which we can't necessarily play around, I don't think. Besides, like, not casting on our turn. Because if we were to sequence Emerald, Soul Ring, Sapphire, they'll just go blow up the Soul Ring Emerald. If we were to sequence Sapphire, Emerald, Soul Ring, they would just blow up. I guess they might technically not blow up Emerald, Sapphire. They might try to get Soul Ring, Sapphire. It's kind of greedy, though. Trying to figure out what's the best way to sequence these things in order to not get Force of Vigor. I guess I can't beat a mental misstep no matter what. It's something to note as well. I think going Sapphire, Emerald, Soul Ring is... Well, then the Soul Ring gets trapped. I don't really want the Soul Ring to get trapped. Alright, I think Emerald, Soul Ring, Sapphire is the way I'm going to do this. No hint on lands, I don't think. I think I'll play... I will play the land before the Sapphire. Okay, and then I'm going to go to their upkeep. I don't want to play into Force of Vigor or Force of Negation. Or Mind Break Trap, even though obviously they could trap the Sapphire if they wanted to. So let's see if they have Force of Will. Looks like they have Force of Will pitching Lavinia. Okay, so not Dredge. I still don't mind how we took our line here. It actually is really lucky for us that opponent didn't, like, let it resolve and then slam a Lavinia and make it so we couldn't cast our zeros again. So opponent probed me, so I just F6'd. They had the Pearl Sapphire to play Lavinia on turn 1. No mana source, probably has PO in hand. We need to draw on some action here. That's a good one. That's not going to get the job done, though. Yikes. Currently 1 mana short of the hard cast Force of Will because I used the Soul Ring and not the Emerald. So, pretty punished for the way I chose to play this game. Probably gonna lose because I chose to use the Soul Ring over the Emerald. Yep. Interesting. There's like actually no reason to use the Emerald is colorless mana, so there's really no reason to use the Soul Ring. It was just a misplay and really bad, and it's gonna cost me this game. Really hard to beat an active Narset as the PO player. Well, yeah, now we're really dead. Wow. I definitely didn't account for draw into Mana Source Force of Will, so likely we would have died anyways after countering the Narset, but I guess I'll let them combo for a little bit, see what's going on. So yeah. We mulliganed, an opponent had a better hand than us. Plus our misplay doesn't help us, obviously. Pretty unfortunate. The PO mirror is one of the worst mirrors. I believe I'm on 0 outs. Yeah, definitely a misplay. Don't think it was going to matter, seeing as we had 4 blanks on top, but definitely a misplay. So in the mirror, you bring in Caracas for Lavinia, but we can take out an island because you don't really need that many lands. You're gonna bring in as many Flusterstorms and Pyroblasts as you can. And then I don't typically like. I guess Hercules is better than a Soul Guide Lantern, so yeah, that's gonna do it. Narset's one of your best cards in the matchup. Lavinia is also incredible. And you need to have a Forcible. Could have been able to counter Narset. Maybe they don't draw Tinker for a couple turns. Counter Tinker. We still gotta get a top deck, but... So, we both had pretty good hands, but opponent was on the draw, and... slightly better. No mulligan. Alright, game 2 on the play again. PO Mirror. Yeah, you keep these every time. Unfortunately, I don't think... I'm not sure. I do like jamming here a lot. The PO Mirror is kind of about jamming, and your opponent can't have Flusterstorm or Pyroblast on turn 1 on the play. All they can have are their 4 Force of Wills and any Mindbreak traps that they had in their sideboard. So this means after opponent's mulligan, they have to have one of their 4 Force of Wills. So I think I'm okay with just jamming. I should play. The alternative line is preordain, look for another blue source so I can hold up Flusterstorm to beat whatever they're playing, and then go off in the next turn. But like if my preordain misses on a Force of Will or a blue source, like it's really bad for me. I don't like it very much. So I'm just gonna lose the Sapphire. Not Sapphire because I need the blue source. The Pearl, I think, and make opponent have Force here. They don't have Force. We get a Bolus to Citadel. Wow, we would have preordained a Lotus. Wow, that would have been very good. So what we can do is we can Lotus, Yogwill, Tinker, top. And then we shouldn't be able to fizzle out from there. We do want one of that one though. That one's fine. Alright, we got there. Turn 1 kill. This is why you really need Force of Will in your opening hand, especially on the draw. Game 3. I wonder if I can go even to like 11 lands. Probably not. Ooh, I don't really like Repeal in this matchup. Yeah, it's fine. It's not terrible. It's like okay card. I guess they have Lavinia, so you probably want Repeal. So this is like the classic, this hand is good enough, right? But we don't have a Force of Will. Are we going to keep? And I think the answer is yes. You have to take like these risks, right? So opponent could easily have a Tinker hand like I did. But I don't think there's anything you can do about it. I think you just have to keep it. Like, this is obviously a powerful hand. Okay, that looks good for us. Not as explosive. I'd really like any mana source, basically, besides an Opal. This way we can have Flusterstorm back up, go for Time Walk, look to try to Vampiric Tutor for a Tinker with Flusterstorm back up kind of deal. We're in a good place if we can draw some mocks in here. Force is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I'm gonna grab the Tundra because we have a Jet. Next question is, do we Time Walk here? So what can we vamp into that's not Tinker? don't think anything's super good. I guess, like, we technically could vamp into, like, a Sapphire. Or, sorry, vamp into... Yeah, I'm, like, looking for a way, like, we would maybe, like, snap Time Walk. Those don't seem very good. If we just vamped for Tinker, it's not very good here. I think I'm willing to just Time Walk. I'd like to have another card in my hand that's unknown. If this gets forced, I think I'm okay with that too. We still have a force of our own. Another Tundra is perfectly fine for us here. Yeah, let's leave open Flusterstorm, Force of Will, and then we have Vampiric Tutor for Tinker next turn. We don't have to vamp for Tinker, but if we like used our Force and our Fluster, we would. If we don't, we probably don't want to vamp for Tinker just because... I wonder if what we want to do here is just like vamp for Karaka. No, it's like not very good. I can't let this resolve. I'm not really ready to force it yet. I wonder if like vamp for Caracas is like a reasonable line here. I can't fluster a Lavinia, unfortunately. I could force this, pitching fluster, and then if that gets countered, then I could vamp for a Caracas, and I still have like snap vamp. I could just vamp for like Ancestral Recall, and then I have Ancestral Recall, snap Ancestral Recall. I didn't have that before because I didn't have the second blue source. So maybe I could like force pitch fluster here. It's like not great. It's all kind of not great for me. Like this can never resolve because I do have force fluster. I guess if I can get a force off of their... If I can get a force off of them here, then I'm actually free to vamp for Tinker. But if they like choose not to force, I can't really vamp for Tinker because I don't have the ability to play my Flusterstorm. I think this is like a really important decision. I don't really want to waste my turn go getting a Caracas, though. That's the real problem here. I don't have like great vamp targets. I guess what I could do is I could like force this, and if they don't force back, I could vamp for Narset. I could vamp for my own Lavinia. It's not that good. They have no artifacts in play. Yeah, but if I force this and they don't force back, I don't want to vamp for recall because I don't have Snapcaster anymore. I don't really want to get like misstepped either. I think I am just forcing this though. I really want them to force back because I want to fluster them and then just go for Tinker. I really want this to be like they have a force as their only other card and we just get them. It's going really well, Sean. We're 2-0. We're playing the mirror. This is game 3 of round 3. This is the most important spell in the game, probably. Our opponent has a force of will. They're deciding if they want a force of will, and if they are, what they're pitching. They also pitched a Snapcaster Mage, so we're going to force this. It's really good for us that they forced here. If they had chosen to not force, it would have been very bad for us. They could still have Mental Misstep, Matt, in which case we're in pretty bad shape. They could also still have second force. They have second force. Holy shit. Okay, so where do we go now? They're going to resolve a Lavinia. What about Vampiric for Monastery Mentor? They have one card in hand, no Moxen. The only really bad card is a cantrip for us. Our options are like matching Lavinias, not great. Caracas, okay. We have matching Lavinias, Caracas, Ancestral, can't Narset because of the Lavinia, or Mentor, right? So we have Mentor, Lavinia, Caracas, Ancestral are our options. I think, like, making our next land drop a Caracas doesn't seem great to me, but it is, like, the safest option. Mentor is kind of reliant on us drawing into action. And, like, bouncing Lavinias is not great. So I think it's, like, Mentor, Ancestral, or Caracas. And I just am not actually sure here. I have time to think about it. If we put a Mentor on top, we immediately get to play an Opal into the Lavinia. We have two things, but we have to draw Ancestral / like cantrip out of it. If we go for Caracas, we have basically infinite time, but we still have to cantrip out of it, I guess. If we go for Ancestral, we have to hit things that matter, which I don't think is actually a good line. I think there are very few things that matter, as evident by our Vampiric Tutor. I guess we don't want our thing to also be trapped. Oh. So I've already determined I don't think Ancestral is a good line. And that leaves my options as Caracas, Lavinia, Mentor. I don't think Lavinia is a good line, so it's Caracas or Mentor. So I think it's just Mentor. It's going to give us the highest chance of winning, whereas Lavinia will give us, or Caracas maybe we have a higher chance, less chance of losing. So I am going to play this Opal into Lavinia just to make another dude, so that if we were to draw a cantrip or a Moxen on the next turn, we would be able to attack with the dude, and to put as much pressure on as possible. Because Recall has to draw a spell that matters, right? For Recall to be good, we need to be drawing into spells that matter. And oh, their last card was Recall? Fuck. We don't, like, have very many spells that matter. Like, all of our spells are turned off. Well, opponent had double Force of Will, Ancestral, Recall, Lavinia, so, like, maybe it doesn't actually fucking matter what we do. We did all that thinking, and we're just gonna get ranched anyways. Beautiful. Fucking beautiful. I thought we were going to be in really good shape after they forced our force, but the second force was a problem, clearly. Oh, nice Whisper. Alright, so we need to draw our Ancestral now. They're going to attack into my Mentor? Would I block? I don't know. We did not draw. Would they block? Whoa, no way! Alright, fair. Holy shit. Okay. There are only like 3 spells in our deck that we could have there. So I think it's like a perfectly fine block, but I honest to God did not think they would ever block there. We're so dead, chat. Unfortunately, opponent had Ancestral after we did a full counter war, so you basically are 100% to lose. Yep, we're dead. Cool. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Glad I didn't get Caracas, I guess. It's Brainstorm, Ancestral, Mystical, Vamp, Repeal. And also Dig Through Time. Which we don't have in our deck, but we should have in our deck, so. It's very low. It's a good block. You should block there. But it's like really, really bad for opponent if we have it. Like it goes from like opponent has a locked game to opponent is it's dangerous like real quickly. So it's fine. We're gonna need more than like drawing Moxen off the top to win anyways. So I'm not super concerned. Like they just demonic tutored for PO. Like we're very, 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 very in trouble. So yeah. We need to draw Ancestral here into like good shit. We need to draw Ancestral that resolves here. Man, we drew the Repeal. Just gonna bounce the Lavinia. I think. Yeah, I just need to play my Underground Sea. I don't know if this is good. This is the biggest problem with this line. But it at least lets me play the Moxen if I drew the Moxen. One less permanent that they can it's one less permanent that they can pick up with PO. Sure. I really wish I still had my other monk here. I would be getting in an extra 2 damage. They would be at 7, and we'd be in a much better shot to win the next game. So I might have just punted away the game, unfortunately, by making that bluff attack, I guess. It's 2 less damage, but it's a lot more damage on the next turn, where I go Narset into a 0 drop. Right. That's true, but like it's a permanent that scales. And I'm thinking about if I have another turn. You're right, they would only be at 9. Well, I think I might have still attacked with Mentor, so that's not exactly true. Like, I don't think I would still attack with Mentor, though. I don't think I would. It's actually better for them to trade, because they had the Ancestral. So... Like, this draw is not actually bad. If we don't die on the next turn... I think we're just dead, unfortunately, but... I can represent Fluster, I guess. They don't have a Lavinia. Oh, fuck off. Alright, I guess we're not getting PO'd to death, though. I guess that's kind of nice. They will have a Lavinia follow-up, maybe? Yeah, okay. So, if our Narset can hit Ancestral here, that would be lit. Night's Whisper. Do I Night's Whisper? A land lets me play Narset off the Night's Whisper? Or do I play Narset? Look for a 1-mana cantrip. what is more likely to get me more plays, I guess. I can't play a Mox because they have a Lavinia. Yeah, I really wish I had the extra monk. It was really, really bad for me that I did that bluff, I think. I think Knight's Whisper is the better play because Narset has to hit Soul Ring top vault. Maybe it's fine. I only have 8 lands left in my deck. I have not played a land this turn, so I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to try to Knight's Whisper into a land into Narset. Or Ancestral. Emerald. Unfortunate. Alright, well I'm going to play this Emerald and attack. They have to trade their Lavinia and their Monk to trade for my Monk. And that would leave me with 2 Monks in play. Really wish I had that other Monk, but... I think it's likely they just chump their Monk on my Mentor. And then they go to their turn, and then they can just kill me because they have a top, but... Oh... So they must have demonicked for Mentor. I find that very intriguing. I don't think there's a case where I would not just demonic for PO. Seeing that my opponent doesn't have Pyroblast. I don't think I would demonic for Mentor if I was my opponent. I think I would try to combo kill me. They could have demonic tutored for Tinker too, like... Yeah, it's true. Maybe the bluff is irrelevant. I can't die here unless they have Time Walk, so it's not the worst. They have to have found something nice with their top. The best thing that can happen to me is I draw a land and I Narset. Jesus Christ. I draw a land and I like Narset into Time Walk. Wish I was playing Lightning Bolt, I guess. I mean, they still have a... Yeah. Unfortunately, we just like can't make these plays because they have a Lavinia in play. I guess I could draw a Caracas into like Narset something. Don't think we can win this game. Maybe they'll play Mana Crypt and die. That'd be nice. Okay, opponent. What? No, we didn't find a PO off that, did you? Rainstorm. Well, opponent certainly went off here. Okay. We had a shot. We just needed them to brick. And this is definitely the opposite of them bricking. PO or Time Walk? It's like highly likely. Yeah, they found PO. Yeah, you're right. Narset would have stopped this from happening. Fuck. That's a really big mistake. I mean, we took a greedy line. Well, I knew they didn't have a PO because they demonic tutored for Mentor instead. It could, like, never die to Monk, right? Like, we'd always have a chump blocker. I was trying to think of, like, maximum ways that we could win, and it seemed like greeting Night's Whisper was better. But it doesn't make sense. Wait, they just picked up their Mentor? Whatever. Yeah, no, we fucked up. We should have just played Narset. What the fuck? Why am I playing so badly? I'm playing awful today. I didn't even think about stopping them from doing things with Narset. That's just so much better than... That's just so much better. We probably win this game if I had played Narset, actually. Well, I think we have to find... Yeah. We had to, like, find something good off Narset, but I think we might have won this game if I just played Narset instead. So these would have gone away. Because we would have picked... We would have played Narset, and we would have picked a Sapphire or an Emerald. And then we would have drawn into Preert. Oh, man. Oh, we just fucking... No, we just misplayed that. We just misplayed it. We had a way out. Why did I go Night's Whisper? It was just greed. It was just really greedy. It was kind of unfortunate to be in that situation anyways. Because obviously the opponent had the Ancestral and we didn't, but I feel like we could have played better to get out of it. Pretty frustrating. How many matches left? Just 2? Oh no, it's 4. Yeah, but I thinking more about it, like why is that a bigger play, right? Like it's not actually ever gonna be like the most it can be is three activations, right? With Narset, it's highly likely it's 1 or 2 activations of 1 or 2 mentor triggers, whereas with Night's Whisper, if I hit a land, then it can be up to 3 activations of mentor triggers. But that's not like that much of a better play, right? Like it's super important for us to not have them draw cards. I don't know why I just didn't think about not having them draw cards. Maybe I thought I was going to hit off my Night's Whisper. Always got to will it to hit, but... Because they just can't do what... Basically, they just can't do what they did on that turn. It keeps the Monk parity, like, relatively close. It's still tough for us. Like, we're still going to have to draw... Basically the way we drew, though. Like... We basically would have drawn into Preordained Brainstorm, which is the perfect draws. Like the stone cold perfect draws for that situation. We're never going to get through, unfortunately, but if we have the Narset advantage, we might be okay.